Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sacred Heart Cathedral on Christian Brothers Court for tonight's final WCAL matchup of the year, the visiting St. Francis Lancers and your back-to-back WCAL champion, Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish. Glad you could all join us tonight, a little bit late from where we were. The freshman game did go 3 sets, in which they closed out their season with a victory. The JVs made quick work of St. Francis in a 2-0 victory. We celebrated our seniors tonight, 9 seniors. So in a pregame ceremony before warm-ups, and as customary on senior night, we awarded the 16th annual Kelly Gallagher Award trophy. I'll go into detail about that in a little bit. We're going to turn it down to Kevin Buckley here in a second, our public address announcer, for our prayer and anthem and starting lineups. And he looks like he's about to get ready.
And good evening, fans. Welcome to Sacred Heart Cathedral. Tonight's final regular season match features the Lancers of St. Francis High School and your Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish. Before we meet tonight's game participants, we ask that you please rise for our opening prayer. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. God of love and is good, we thank you for gathering the communities of St. Francis and Sacred Heart Cathedral together tonight. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, we ask for your special blessing of this game, that we may use our God-given talents to provide exciting competition and great reward for all athletes, coaches, family, and friends here to support us. For a safe and exciting game, we pray in gratitude for this opportunity tonight. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. Please remain standing now for the playing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the Sacred Heart Cathedral Band. Number 2, Cindy Peterson. Number 6, Brooke Morey. Number 9, Maggie Curtis. Number 10, Kira Kellerman. Number 13, Madison Peach. Number 14, Allison Coe. And number 18, Sawana Leia. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Fighting Irish. As announced by Coach Maggie Bella. Number 1, Ashley Chan. Number 2, Nora Thompson. Number 4, Amaya Kuiper. Number 5, Alyssa Lee. Number 6, Alden Stanley. Number 7, Skylar Kennedy. And number 13, Sophie Seljasen. On behalf of the WCAL, good luck to both teams participating tonight.
Well, welcome back. Thank you to Kevin Buckley, our public address announcer. Your starting lineups for this evening is going to be number 2 in the libero for St. Francis, Sydney Peterson. Number 6, Brooke Morey. Number 9, Maggie Curtis. Number 10, Kira Kellerman. Number 13, Madison Peach. Number 14, Allison Coe. And number 18, Soana Leia. That's Morey, Curtis, Kellerman, Peach, Coe, Leia, and your libero is Sydney Peterson. And for the Irish, as they've done quite often this year, number 1, Ashley Chan is your libero this evening. Number 2, Nora Thompson. Number 4, Amaya Kuiper. Number 5, Alyssa Lee. Number 6, Alden Stanley. Number 7, Skylar Canady. Again, for the Irish, it's Thompson, Kuiper, Lee, Stanley, Canady, and your libero is Ashley Chan. So as we get ready to start the first set, congratulations go out to the Fighting Irish for securing their second consecutive WCAL championship. That took place last Thursday, on the road at St. Ignatius. So a decisive 3-set victory at SI last week on Thursday gives the Irish their 8th win in league. They're 8-1 coming into tonight, but that league is all wrapped up. St. Francis comes in today 6-3. They are 25-10 overall.
To open up set number 1, back to serve for the Irish, number 4.
In a tie with Archbishop Mitty, and that's your second and third in the league. So Amaya Kuiper to start with serve tonight. Skylar Canady with her first opportunity of the evening. Kira Kellerman on the outside, and she's going to find the ground to the right side of Ashley Chan. St. Francis gets on the board with their first points.
St. Francis, number 9, Maggie Curtis.
Kira Kellerman with her first kill of the evening. Now Maggie Curtis to serve. Quick set to Nora Thompson. Set outside to Kellerman again. Kellerman's going to go off the block of Nora Thompson. And St. Francis is going to go up 2-0. Right off the hands of Nora Thompson. Served by Curtis, dug out by Kuiper. Stanley over to Canady, and Canady's going to hit down, and a great dig by Sydney Peterson. St. Francis tries to control ball. It's Madison Peach hitting into the net. That's a side out to the Irish. And the Irish are on the board. Nora Thompson now to serve. To start for the Irish. Set to Kellerman again. Dug out by Thompson. Canady with the tip over the lead block of Brooke Morey and Allison Coe, and drops it right on behind them. And this game is tied at 2. Thompson again. Dug out by Peterson. Kellerman again. Blocked at the net by Sophie Soljaset and Alden Stanley. Sophie, the second leading blocker on the Irish, behind Nora Thompson. As Thompson's serve goes into the net, and that's going to be a side out. At 3-3 here.
Allison Coe back to serve for St. Francis.
Allison Coe back to serve now to start things off. Coe's serve dug out by Lee. The set to Canady off the block, and that's going to stay in. A good block by Madison Peach. Side out to the Lancers. Or my apologies, ball stays with the Lancers. Stanley on a quick set to Sophie Soljaset. who has no problem getting this ball down, tie this game up. Now, a little bit back to our regular lineup. Sarah Cheng checks in for the Irish. I believe there's a out-of-rotation call against the Lancers. Irish lead 5-4. Alden Stanley serves. And that's going to be long.
Taylor Tulo in the Lancers lineup. Back to serve number 10, Kira Kellerman.
Kira Kellerman now to serve. And Lancers are going to give the service error right back to the Irish. That's going to bring up Skylar Kennedy. Kennedy serve even longer. We're just going to trade points long. Maybe a little bit of nerves. Maybe a little bit too excited, knowing that this is your last regular league game. Brooke Morey now to serve for the Lancers. That's handled by Kennedy. Sarah Cheng from the right side with the big left hand. Free ball played well by St. Francis. This serve's going to go across now to Amaya Kuiper. Dug out of the ground by Coe. Coe long set to the corner to Kennedy. And Sarah Cheng is going to get blocked at the net by Taylor Tulo. Tulo with 22 total blocks on the year. Quick set to Sophie Seljaset again, and she's going to bury that, no problem. Going to bring Nora Thompson back into the game. Ashley Chan for her first serve of the night. Ashley did miss a couple weeks with a badly sprained ankle just before league started. Maya Kuiper through the block. Kira Kellerman from the back row. Now a long bump set across court to Kuiper. Kellerman with the dig. Good save by Alden Stanley. Amaya Kuiper cross court on the near court. She finds ground, and that's Kuiper's first kill of the night. Amaya Kuiper became an integral part of this offense with the loss of another senior who's missed some considerable time, and we're wishing her well in hopes that she can get back for the postseason. Megan Len. She broke a knuckle in tournament play earlier in the season. Nora Thompson through the block and a kill for herself. That's her first of the night. So the Irish went through a period early on where their starting libero had a pretty bad ankle. Megan Len, one of their star offensive hitters. UC Davis-bound Megan Len. She broke a knuckle and she's been out for 5 weeks or so. And then the terrible loss to Alyssa Taylor, a junior, who needs a ACL tear. And I believe she just had surgery, or is having surgery, so we hope that recovery goes well for her. And hope to see her back in action in some capacity next year. It'll be a long road, but we hope. Taylor Tulo with her second kill of the evening, right at Alden Stanley. Now Madison Peach's serve. They're going to feed Kuiper on the left side, and that's going to be shortened into the net. And the Irish are down 10-9 early in the first set. We'd like to thank anybody for joining us tonight for our senior night. Peaches Serve goes long. That'll be a side out and Irish ball.
Serving for the Irish, number 5,
Alyssa Lee now back into the game, replacing Sarah Chang, and Alyssa will be back to serve right now. Quick set to Nora Thompson. Free ball coming. Oh, overhand ball. Good ball, just out. A good swing by Tulo on the left side, and without even getting up in the air, just managed to hit that just long. Now a swing set to Sawana Leia. Dug out by the Irish, played over, and a mistake along the net for the Lancers gives the Irish a 12-10 lead. Great serve by Alyssa Lee, just short, unable to be played by St. Francis, and we're going to have a timeout on the court at 13-10 in the first set. Good crowd here tonight, the Sacred Heart Cathedral Band. You'll hear them in the background often. It looks like the varsity football team has come to support our seniors. Good number of students in the stands as well, and as always, a great family support that we have. Sacred Heart Cathedral Band, under the direction of Mr. Tiv Cumberbach, has done an excellent job in his first year directing our band. We've seen him in many volleyball games. We've seen him at all the football games. Looking forward to basketball season and what he has new planned. Oh, back to the action here. Solana Leia knocking Ashley Chan down, but be able to keep this ball in play. They're going to feed her again, and now she's going to be met at the net by Nora Thompson with the block. Kellerman from the back row. Nora Thompson with the block and turn around for a set. Great job by Thompson. 2 blocks on the night so far. 2 kills. Peach off the hands of Thompson, and that's going to find the open court in the middle.
The set for the Lancers, number 2, Sydney Peterson.
Coach Bima giving a little bit of insight to what's going on. Lancers serve here, 14-11 Irish in the middle of the first set. And Sydney Peterson back to serve. Jump serve floater to Kennedy. To Stanley, passed out to Maya Kuiper. Dug out by Maggie Curtis. And a swing by Kellerman is going to be wide left. And it's going to be side out point to the Irish. Kira Kellerman leads St. Francis in kills this year with 319. I can't imagine she comes out of very many sets. Madison Peach off the block and out of bounds against the Irish. Trading points here in the middle of the first set. Maggie Curtis now to serve. Skylar Kennedy with maybe her easiest point of the year. Found a hole between arms on the block and just enough to get it through. Skylar Kennedy with another kill. So we said that Kellerman leads the Lancers coming into the game with 319 kills. Sacred Heart Cathedral has another 300-plus kill leader, and that's Skylar Kennedy with 347 coming into the evening. We've got some news on Skylar Canaday coming up in the next set. Canaday, we're going to get a tip and down. Going to be another for Skylar with 3.
Alden Stanley back to serve.
Alden Stanley now to serve. Alden, one of the service leaders of this team, with an over 10% service ace percentage. Canaday hits the ball to the left of Sydney Peterson, and that's going to be down. Once Skylar gets going, you can see how she can amass 347 kills on the season. UCLA bound Skylar Canaday. Madison Peach dug out by Ashley Chan. Skylar Canaday is going to find another over the block of Brooke Morey. Skylar now has 5. It's going to be a timeout on the court by St. Francis at 19-13 here in the middle of the first set. We received news today that Skylar has garnered a couple of awards this week. She was named the Player of the Week from Cal High Sports, and you can see that show. We were told it's at about the 4:45 mark of the show. CalHighSports.com. And even bigger than that, Skylar was named the AVCA, the American Volleyball Association, All-Region Team for Region 9. That consists of the states of California, Arizona, and Nevada. There are 10 regions across the 50 states, and here in Region 9, California, Arizona, and Nevada, Skylar was named to the All-Region Team. That's a list of 35 players from hundreds of high schools within those 3 states. So congratulations to Skylar, well deserved. It's been a joy to watch her play the last 3 years. Kira Kellerman dug out by Alden. A little overpass, but we're going to get outside the antenna against St. Francis. Pardon me, outside the antenna against the Fighting Irish. That's going to be a side out, and that's going to go back over. So that call being made from the corner line judge. Kellerman to serve. And from the back row, an overhand dink to the middle. Ashley Chan's going to set up Sarah Chang. And tip by Taylor Tulo, and that's going to be a point for the Lancers. Lancers trail by 4, 19-15. Here in the first set, winding down. Sophie Seljacek with a hit, dug out by the Lancers. Tulo now off the block. Kuiper, Stanley, Canaday. Free ball coming back to the Irish. And Skylar Canaday taking out some aggression against number 9, Maggie Curtis. That's going to be Skylar's 6th kill of the game. And as they do so often, make a good play, and now you're going to go serve. So Canaday is going to go unforced error. 130 points Skylar's responsible for when she serves this year. Second most on the team. Alden Stanley to Kuiper. Kuiper's going to go off the block of Solana Leia. And the Irish go up 21-16. Ashley Chan to serve now. The Irish have been in control from the beginning. Chan serve. Stanley to Thompson on the quick set. Not able to be handled by Maggie Curtis. That ball's going to go out of bounds. And the Irish are going to go up 22-16. 3 points to the set. We play best of 5 here. Madison Peach stemming the tide.
Number 13, Madison Peach, back to serve for St. Francis.
Peach with her second, I believe, on the night. Now to serve as well. 22-17. Stanley again on a quick set to Nora Thompson. And the Irish look like they are in pretty good rhythm tonight so far. The game they played against St. Ignatius last week was as convincing a win as I've seen out of them in the last few years. Service ace from Alyssa Lee. Leader serve for the set. Oh, a backwards tip out of Coe. Skylar Candidate from the back row. Kellerman from the back. Hit right at Candidate. That's a long pass. Good save by the Irish. Quick hands. Quick face off of Alden. Alden out the set. Amaya Kuiper the dink. Kellerman from the back row, and she's going to hit it out wide left. And that's going to bring the first set to a close as the Irish win this one handily, 25-17. In set 1, they will trade sides, and we'll be back in 3 minutes to bring you set 2. You're watching SHC TV. Welcome back, everybody, for the beginning of set 2. Take you around the league a little bit. Senior night down in San Jose at Archbishop Mitty. They've just gone up 2-0 on St. Ignatius. At Valley Christian on their senior night, they lead. They just finished up their first set. They're up 1-0 down in deep San Jose. The Irish with a 25-17 victory here in set 1. Now to lead off set 2. Allison Coe is going to lead off. She's going to start the game off long for the Lancers. Unforced error. Turned over to the Irish. Nora Thompson now going to serve for the Irish. And the Irish off the block of Kellerman, and they're going to get their second point. Thompson now. Dug out, given to Madison Peach. Madison Peach blocked and dug out. Skylar Kennedy is going to hit this ball off of Sydney Peterson. And the ball is almost going to end up in the side court, the side basketball hoop, and out of bounds. It's going to be a 3-0 lead now for the Irish. Service ace from Nora Thompson. Nora Thompson does lead the team in service ace percentage with 10.4% of her serves. Has accounted for 106 points when she serves for the Irish. I would expect the Irish a top seed in the CCS Open Division when that begins on Saturday. The seeding meeting is tomorrow, so we will not find out until late tomorrow night. We'll make sure to post it on our Twitter feed when we get that. It will not be aired. CCS regulations do not allow us to live stream postseason matches. So you're going to have to come out and join us. We know we're going to be at home. As WCAL champions, I would think that would give us the top seed, but we do know that we are going to be at home. We do know the game is going to be at 7 o'clock Saturday evening. So we hope you can make it out. Skylar Kennedy fighting the back corner of the court for another point for the Irish. Skylar is going to continue her point total here in the second set. She had 6 in the first. 6 kills in the first. Now picks up 1 here in the second. Alden Stanley serving. Alden Stanley has been the mark of excellence
for the Irish.
For Coach Marty Beeman. I have her assist totals on here. Pardon me as I try and find them. I was talking with Coach Beeman the other day, and she had said that she believes that Alden is well over 1,000 assists for the year as a setter. Sarah Chang came into the game a point ago, or a rotation ago, and hits this ball long. Maggie Curtis now serving. Curtis to Kennedy, to Stanley, back to Kennedy, dug out nicely by Kellerman. Sarah Chang with a good play up. Kennedy in the tip. That was off the block of Sophie Seljeseth and played out by Sarah Chang. Good cover play on a set that hung a little too long in the air. Nice save as well by Maggie Curtis. Taylor Tulo with the ball down the left side, and that ball is going to be good and in. So the Lancers crawling back slowly early in the second set. The Irish lead 6-5. And that serve is going to be long. Unforced error. Ball moves over to the Irish. Skylar Canaday to serve. So we are looking to have a special guest come on here in between sets and into the third set. Sarah Chang with the kill. We've put the calls out to women's varsity basketball coach LaRyan Russell, who has said that he will join us, but now we just got to wait to see. Make sure he's still in the pavilion somewhere. Tula with a bullet off of Ashley Chan. And Ashley having to make a good save. Madison Peach, Chan, Stanley, Kuiper, good dig. The Lancers did beat the Irish the first time they played. That's their lone loss in league this year. The Irish have really had, as expected, a great season and having to deal with a couple of key injury losses. They've really done an excellent job, and we're going to get a net violation here against Sarah Chang. There are a couple of Lancer students that made the trip up north. It's a very good crowd on both sides. We've got a couple of obnoxious Lancer fans. Pardon me. Not a big fan of poking fun of mistakes. Kellerman on a big ball to Stanley's right. She's going to leave her feet for it, but come up just short. That ball bounces out of bounds. And that's going to tie the game up for the Lancers now. 8-8. As we get towards the middle of the second set. And that's going to be a short serve. Ella Norris.
Serving for the Irish, number 1, Ashley Chan.
Ashley Chan now back for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Up 9-8. Kuiper off the foot of Ella Norris. And the Irish go up by 2. Ashley Chan. Lauren Scheffler now in the game for the Lancers. Taylor Tulo is going to be off the block of Nora Thompson for the kill.
She's back to serve.
Now to serve for the Lancers, Sydney Peterson. Peterson serve, dug out by Kuiper. Now the Irish looking to get into system. Maya Kuiper into the block of Lauren Scheffler. And that's going to even up this match at 10 apiece. Even up this set. Ashley Chan, our team leader in digs, she was 249 tallied coming into tonight's match. Alden Stanley behind her at 215. Those two can be pretty interchangeable. With Stanley getting so many digs, somebody's got to handle the setting responsibilities. So it's Ashley Chan that's called on to do that.
Back to serve for Sacred Heart Cathedral,
Alyssa Lee checking in and back to serve. That's a long set and a tip. Leia just ran out of arm length and is tipped right back by Nora Thompson. And now the Irish football team getting involved in some of the ruckus around here. Good ball cross court by Scheffler. That's going to be a point for the Lancers. And a side out. Solana Leia back for the Lancers. Nora Thompson on a quick set. It's blocked. She tips it back over. Kellerman blocked by Stanley. Leia with a long pass back to the corner. Kennedy, quick set to Nora Thompson, and Nora Thompson will not be denied. I've got 4 kills for Thompson this evening. Very senior heavy team. The Fighting Irish are. The last league game for 9 of them and 2 managers. Always a little bit bittersweet. And we do get tonight, one of my favorite nights of the year is when we honor the memory of Kelly Gallagher, who was a class of 1995, somebody I knew in school well. Unfortunately passed away in her sleep at a young age of 27. So we were able to honor her, and that award goes to, it's an award picked by the players, and it embodies Kelly's passion and excitement, not just for the game, but for life. She was a bigger-than-life personality. She went on to play at USF. And really a tragic loss to the Sacred Heart Cathedral family many years ago. And in her name, we wanted to honor her, and they began the Kelly Gallagher Award. So in its 16th year, senior number 18, Maya Medina, was named the Kelly Gallagher Award winner this evening. And Maya, a 2-sport athlete here, volleyball and basketball. It's quite an honor to receive any type of award, but it's even more special when it comes from your teammates. The coaches stay out of it. It's a completely student-driven award by the team. So to have a group of people that you go to work with every single day give you the highest honor of what it means to be a Sacred Heart Cathedral athlete and a member of this volleyball program, and for what Maya brings to the table every day, we couldn't be prouder to have her as a Kelly Gallagher Award winner. So congratulations to Maya. Skylar Kennedy with another kill for the Irish. That's going to be her 8th. The Irish take a lead 16-15 here in the second period. We'd like to thank you for joining. If you're just tuning in, the Irish won the first set 25-17. They lead the match 1-0. in the middle of the second set. It is a best of 5. The Irish will be in the open division of the CCS as they were last year. And that play begins on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Maggie Curtis continuing here for the Lancers. Let's see, Skylar Kennedy set up. Ball's going to be dug out by Gabby Silva. Good save by Ashley Chan. There has been some great hustle. Some great hustle plays so far early in this game. Kennedy is going to go long. She's going to go just long. The linesman right on top of it. So St. Francis continue. They're up 2 now. Half block. Kennedy hits into Solana Leea. And the Irish are going to be down 3, and they call a timeout here late in the second set. So I'm going to step away for 1 second. I'll be back in a minute. You're watching SHC TV live on YouTube. Nationals just hit a home run to go up 3-2. Maybe you've got SHC TV streaming on your big screen and we're looking for an update of what's going on. But here we are. Irish trail 20-16 in the second set. Maggie Curtis continues to serve. She's got 4 straight now. Serve goes long to Amaya Kuiper, and right by her and out, and that's going to be the side out that the Irish are looking for.
Back to serve for the Irish, number 7.
Back to serve for the Irish is going to be Skylar Kennedy. Kennedy, a senior, headed to UCLA next year. Swinging a foul tip as we stick with baseball around here. Leia just ran out of arm again. The set might have been a little high, a little.
Fans, please keep all aisles and stairways clear for the San Francisco Fire Department code. Please find a seat in the stands. Thank you.
Kennedy coming out of the timeout. The Irish trail 2, 20-18. Bump set goes over to Amaya Kuiper, and an errant pass by the Lancers gets the Irish back in within 1. Gabby Silva made an effort diving to her right, but the ball comes off just a little bit too flat. So Kennedy serve. Hit it Sydney Peterson, off of Maggie Curtis. And the knuckleball must have spun just enough and caught her right off the edge of the hands and into the stands it goes. So now 20-20 all tied up. 4 straight for Skylar and the Irish. That's a good pass. Quick set and quick hit by Sawana Laea. And the Lancers now lead 21-20. Madison Peach to serve now for the Lancers. Kennedy with the play up. Stanley to Chang. Chang dug out by Ko. Taylor Tulo is going to hit into the net, and that's going to be a tie game. So it's a race to 4. Remember, you must win by 2. First to 25, but you must win by 2. Ashley Chan to serve. Tulo going to get set up on the left side. We're going to get a net violation off of Nora Thompson, I believe. Sydney Peterson now back to serve. Lancers lead by 1. Good pass by Kuiper. Sets up Sarah Chang. Sarah Chang's going to bury this ball off the line in the back of the court to tie this game up to 22. Chang coming out of the game. Alyssa Lee checking in for her, and she's back to serve. Kira Kellerman back in as well. She's dug out. Back set to Madison Peach. And Peach hits this ball long. And the Irish now lead 23-22. There's another timeout on the court taken by St. Francis. Their final timeout of the set. So very good back and forth here. Towards the end of this second set. Coming back from the timeout. It's going to be Alyssa Lee to serve. The Irish lead 23-22. Late in the second set here. As everybody gets set on the court. Whistle is blown for Alyssa to serve. This flat serve that just dives out right in front of Maggie Curtis, and she can't handle it. That's the service ace. And serving for the set is going to be Alyssa Lee. Kellerman into the block of Alden Stanley. She's going to get it right back. Dug out of the ground by Ashley Chan. Set up to Amaya Kuiper. They're going to give it back to Kellerman. Kellerman's going to pick on Skylar Kennedy, who's going to play it up in the air. Kuiper with a kill and a dig again. Ko with a long set to try and back the Irish up. Quick set to Nora Thompson. That's dug out. Kellerman again. Third time's a charm, and that's dug out by Lee. And she's going to come back and hit it one more time. That's the Kira Kellerman show right there.
So back to serve for St. Francis.
Laea to serve now. St. Francis trailing by 1. An Irish point gives them the set. Blocked by Stanley. Kellerman again. And actually Chan not going to be able to handle this as it ends up in the upper deck. St. Francis ties the game up at 24 apiece. Remember, must win by 2 when we get to this point in the game. 24-24. Solana Lea with the serve. Skylar Kennedy. Noah Thompson after the quick set. Kira Kellerman into the block of Nora Thompson, and that's going to fall. So St. Francis takes the lead 25-24, and Christina's going to call her final timeout of the second set. You get 2 timeouts per set here. Checking in on the baseball game again. The Nationals are up 3-2 in the top of the 7th. A couple of runners on. As somebody who's been a lifelong Giant fan, I really didn't care too much who wins this World Series. I just wanted to see 7 games. One of the worst days of the year for me is always the day after baseball season ends. So by guaranteeing Game 7 tonight, at least we have the joy of watching the 49ers tomorrow night. So we don't get that day of nothing. Back at it here. Leia up 25-24. Ashley Chan with the pass. Oh, the short pass to Nora Thompson, who was able to flip it over the net and wasn't able to be handled from the Lancers. So Maya Kuiper is now going to serve. It's a tie game, 25-25. Allison Coe tries a quick set for a point, a quick tip set, and she shoves it right into the middle of the net. Coe with a long pass across. Skylar Kennedy to put it away, and a great diving save by Sydney Peterson. Kellerman played. Kennedy off of Peterson again. Now the Irish in system here. Kennedy one more time, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to get her a third time. So Skylar Kennedy with her 9th kill of the match and ends the second set. The Irish win it 27-25 to go up 2-0. And we're on our way back. We'll be back in a few minutes with set 3 as the Irish go for the win. Stay tuned. We'll be back on SHC TV live on YouTube. All right, everybody, welcome back to the beginning of set 3. The Irish up 2 sets to none, winning the first 25-17 and sweating out the second 27-25 in this best of 5. I'd like to welcome special guests on the microphone tonight. I believe making your first appearance on SHC TV. We've got varsity girls basketball coach, Coach Lorian Russell with us. How are we doing tonight?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you are one of our biggest supporters across all of athletics. We see you in and out of the gym, on the field. What do you notice? What can we take from this volleyball team this year?
Just their spirit. Like, they play together. They've had some injuries, some key injuries, and Coach Beamer does a great job of preparing all the girls to step in and play, and you see the energy with the girls on the bench, on the court. They just play together as a unit, and I love seeing it.
They have been fun to watch since I've been doing this for the last 3 years. This group here, and probably because most of them were together as sophomores on the varsity. But even with the loss of Megan Len, UC Davis bound Megan Len, to see people such as Sophie Seljaset step up in that role, to see Amaya Kuiper step up in that role, to see Sarah Cheng's numbers increase to take from that, that's something pretty special on any team.
Absolutely. And still got Skylar out there and Ashley in the middle digging things out, and Alden does a great job of setting everybody up. And how about the hops on Nora Thompson? She gets up. She gets up.
She gets up, and she gets up in a hurry.
She does.
All those quick sets right from the middle.
It's like she just glides in the air every time she jumps. I love it.
Could you use somebody like that on the court?
I could use all of them. I love it. Any athletic player we could get, we're good.
So Kira Kellerman hits the ball long here. The Irish are going to go up 2-0 early in the third set. Amaya Kuiper back to serve. Amaya, who didn't play much at all last year, has really become an integral part of this offense and being forced to, after a real freak injury, a broken knuckle to Megan Len during the middle of a tournament.
Oh, yeah. And not to have Megan out there is a big loss, but like I said before, these girls do a good job of stepping up and being ready at all times.
That's for sure. Coach Bima, who did get her 500th victory of her career earlier this season, in talking to her, she was saying that this might be one of her most special groups. And if you're going to be in the game that long and get to such a milestone, and she's had some great players over the years, without a doubt, but to see them all come together in one in this run, I don't know if you could write it up any better as a coach.
No, you can't, especially as you mentioned, this group being together as sophomores, a lot of the seniors. This is that last chance, so they've been focused, they've been locked in, and been ready to go this year. And congrats on the girls volleyball team for winning their second consecutive league title.
Getting one league title, getting one WCAL title is hard enough. The gauntlet that a team must run to get through league in all sports, boys and girls, doesn't really matter. But you were looking at some of the top athletes in the area, without a doubt, but you're also looking at one of the top leagues. I know that in baseball it got named the toughest league in the state last year.
Yes.
And it goes that way up and down.
Across all sports, yes, and it's incredible, and that goes to show not only just here at SHC, but the kind of coaching and the kind of kids that we have in our league is truly special to be a part of.
Now, you played here for the Irish basketball. I was a baseball player in my day, a few years before you, just a few. And growing up in this league, watching it from a little kid, it hasn't changed, and it just seems to be getting better.
Absolutely. Kids are playing sports more year-round. I feel like when we were coming up, we played multiple sports, so the skill level has improved across the board with a lot of sports, and we get a lot of airtime, so that helps as well.
Well, we try and do all we can to support you. That's for sure. You've done a wonderful job with the girls basketball program the last number of years. Now, I know your tryouts begin next week.
Yes.
Are we looking forward to that? What can we expect
I'm chomping at the bit. I cannot wait to get out there next week. The girls have worked hard in the off season. We have some very good freshmen that have come in. I've seen some improvements with players that were in the program last year. So the girls are excited. I'm excited, and my coaching staff is excited. So I can't wait to get to go on Monday.
Good. It's always some of the best time of the year is that week or so before when you're hanging around a little bit longer, getting ready for the late practices. And although I know that you've been in your open gyms for quite some time now, and so I know the girls have been hard at work. They've been working with Coach Poise, and who does such a great job with all of our athletes. It's a fun time of year, this transition from fall sports to winter sports.
Absolutely, and when Coach Poise is happy with the workload, you know that the girls have really put their work in. So he gives me nothing but great reports. He does a great job with all of our athletes, and for him to have the knowledge to get lacrosse, basketball, football, baseball, softball, swimming, soccer. He works with all of our athletes, tennis, golf. That's a testament to his knowledge of improving athletes.
I don't know if there's a man that puts in more hours per day. As I know, he had a group in the weight room early this morning, and I looked down, and he's here watching this game tonight.
Only person that might give him a run for his money is me. But he might have me by a little bit.
By a little bit. So we are very, very fortunate. I know when I was in school, we didn't have a strength and conditioning coach.
No.
It was our head coach had thought was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
So, as athletes become more specialized at a younger age, their workouts do as well, and extremely fortunate to have Coach Poise to help lead us.
Absolutely. Definitely grateful to have him here.
So St. Francis jumps out to a 9-2 lead here in the third set. Allison Coe to serve. Skylar Canaday goes long and left and out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Lancers. We did see this out of the Irish a couple of times last year. They'd go up 2-0, and not that they'd have a letdown set, but maybe they just want to play together a little bit longer. Figure out a way to extend this match just one more.
They got to give us our money worth.
That's it. That's it.
It's incredible the resilience with this group. They can get down like they're down 11-2, and there's no doubt in my mind they'll make a run to close the gap really soon.
It's one of the few sports where the quickness of the runs and how fast they can go from side to side, where a game can either get away from you really quickly, like this one has the potential of, or they can crawl right back into it with a little service run and a couple of big hits, none bigger than
Skylar Canaday. Right on cue.
So to watch how quickly things can change here is pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And Skylar with another monster hit. Definitely enjoyed to watch her play over the past 4 years.
As we said before, Skylar will be on the court at UCLA next year. That was an early commit last year that we had heard about. She has her UCLA shoes on already.
Yes, I see.
Team issue.
I see.
Team issue.
She's ready to go.
That may fall within our color palette as well. We may have to run that through the powers that be.
But that is the accent blue that we use, so it might be okay to use.
All right. Big hit by Madison Peach over the block and off the Irish out of bounds. They're going to go to 13-3 now, and Coach Marty Bima is going to take a timeout here in the third set. Her first timeout, trying to regroup. Well, Coach, do you know how many days you have until opening day to your first game?
Not exactly. First game is December 5th. We start off with the Cardinal Newman tournament. We finished second last year in the tournament, first the year before, so we've been doing pretty well with that tournament. They've had some great competition. I forget the girl's name is going to Stanford. That was a dunking sensation. We played her team from Colorado last year in the championship, and oh man, she's going to be fun to watch at Stanford next year. But our team battled, so we're looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to get out there and taking home first place this time.
So who can we look to carry to lead you? I don't want to say to carry you, but who are some of your leaders that you're looking for that have paid their dues and they're going to come and step in and be right for us?
Well, honestly, just as a team, it's hard to pinpoint one person. We had so many young players last year. We only had 2 seniors, one of which had a lot of varsity experience. So with losing Talo last year, we have a lot of girls that are hungry, ready to return. They have a year under their belt with varsity, and definitely will be a team effort going forward.
That's good. Talo Lou Presa, who is recovering from knee surgery, ACL surgery,
ACL,
and is set to play at Cal State East Bay?
Yeah, she's redshirting this year. They're going to redshirt her so she doesn't have to rush back, which is a great thing for her to get acclimated to college and come back healthy.
Yeah, we wish the best for her. She was a lot of fun to watch over the last couple of years. I remember specifically the St. Ignatius game at Cal last year, which if one person could have willed the game to go a certain way.
Yes, absolutely.
She was, you don't see it such like that, just such a dominating performance and staring down free throw after free throw with no time on the clock and just ice in her veins.
Well, how about this? There's 1 second left. She has 2 free throws. She thinks we're down 3. So thank God she made both free throws to send it into overtime.
She had no idea that even if she made them both, she thought you guys were going to lose?
Yeah.
Good.
I didn't want to break her concentration.
No, very good. Very good.
But just the ice water in her veins and the will, she was battling leg cramps throughout the game because it was very hot in the gym, and I think she had like 15 or 16 rebounds that game. So
she played great that night for sure.
Absolutely.
And that was the Bruce Mahoney night that was played at Cal last year. For anybody listening now, I know that we are still working on finalizing our date this year with St. Ignatius.
Yes.
We do think it'll be in January at some time.
I hope sometime in January.
Sometime in January. There's so much about that game out of both schools, from players, coaches, alumni, parents, faculty. It would be nice to have that. That's one less thing to have to worry about, where we're going and what time we're doing it and how we're getting there. And last year, because of USF's reconstruction, we ended up at Cal, which was a beautiful facility.
Yes.
And good crowds on both sides of the court. And an opportunity for our kids to play in a setting like that some may never get.
Absolutely. No, it's definitely an event, but I love it. I love it, and the reason I love it is because how often do you get an atmosphere like that where you have alumni coming back, and we're talking about years of alumni, and the fact that they can come back, be in that type of environment. It is a family affair, even though it's like a family feud with St. Ignatius and Sacred Heart Cathedral battling it out in sports. It's definitely a great atmosphere, and if you have not been to a Bruce Mahoney game, definitely should check it out. Whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, definitely a good time to come out and watch both teams play.
As soon as we know when that date is solidified, there's just a lot of things that are in play right now with logistics between both schools and a venue. We will let you know, so pay attention to Seamus on Twitter You can always go to our website, shcathletics.com. As soon as we get information, we'll pass that along. Now, you do say that it's kind of a family feud. How about the ultimate family feud? And I'm looking at both of them right now. You've got Skylar Kennedy on the volleyball court and her twin brother, who is a star football and basketball player at St. Ignatius. What do you think that dinner table conversation goes like?
Oh, it's very lively. I'm willing to guarantee it. They both are great kids. You know, got a chance to get to know both of them, and I guarantee it's a battle every time. Like they're probably very supportive when the two schools are not playing each other. Well, probably a little trash talk that goes on. Same thing happened with my sister Tony Russell and myself when she was helping Brian Harrigan at St. Francis a few years ago. You know, the trash talk starts a few days before. We're talking trash during the game. All lighthearted stuff, but it makes the game even more interesting.
You know, when the competitor in you comes out, all the time. I'll be on the other side of that. I've witnessed that sometimes. Skylar's brother, he sat next to me last year during the volleyball playoff game that went 5 sets, and this gym was rocking off the foundation. I turned around and I looked at him, and he looked at me and winked and said, yeah, I'm her brother. And I went, wow. And just an absolutely nice. He would stay with us on his St. Ignatius side,
yes,
but stayed close enough to the scorer's table where you know how we're supposed to be impartial and neutral down there. But to watch him in that game, cheer on his sister, that's a stand-up family member right there.
Absolutely. Family comes first, right?
That's it. That's it. If we like him or not,
exactly.
That's who we got.
Exactly.
That's who we got. So the Irish trying to climb back into this one, now trail 17-12. 18-12 off another swing from Kellerman. It's those games of runs.
Absolutely. Hopefully they can get a few more stops to try to even this score.
Isn't it funny that no matter what the sport is, the lingo is kind of the same?
Absolutely. Everything's a game of runs.
That's it. Kennedy with another.
Although St. Francis is up 5 points right now, the momentum still seems to be with SHC. So,
I think so.
Here we go, Irish. Let's go on our run right now.
So Nora Thompson on a bad pass off the serve and dug out. Well, free ball by the Lancers. And Alden Stanley with a dump set over the net, and the Irish pull within 4. Remember, the Irish trailed 11-2 when they got to 13-3 when Coach Bima called her first time out. The Irish, little by little. Kellerman with another swing. She is on the stat page. Another great dink by Kennedy. On the stat page, Kellerman comes across as the Irish's Kennedy does. 300 plus kills on the year. Leads the team in digs. Seems to be in the middle of every block, every big play. Madison Peaches now dug out by Lee. And Alden Stanley trying to save a tough pass. And that's going to fall as a side-out Irish. Actually, Chan's going to check back in the game. Taylor Tulo back in for St. Francis. And back to serve, checking into the game and back to serve is Gabby Silva. Ooh.
There we go. Oh.
That quick set that Seljacek and Thompson have been able to handle all night long. The timing on that is
incredible.
It is. It has to be incredible. Otherwise, you miss it.
Absolutely.
You get up too soon, it can be at your waist. You get up too late, you're going to miss it completely.
I wonder how long her hang time is, because she seems to hang in the air on some of these kills too.
Set pass over the net's going to fall down and find the floor for the Lancers. They're going to get their 4-point lead back. St. Francis back to serve. It's going to be their libero, number 2, Sydney Peterson. Peterson, a jump serve. That ball's going to be long. There have been many service errors. tonight. Unforced service errors. Although the Irish, they've traded some blows with those back and forth. So Kennedy now to serve. Dug out by Tulo. They're going to give it back to Sowana Leia. We're going to see the ball down, overruled. The corner linesman called the ball out and overruled by the up official that the ball was in. So the Irish now within 2 at 20-18. Ball by Kuiper kind of ran the net from side to side. A big block by Seljasev, dug back out. Tula to recover. Candidate from the back row. Peterson the dig. Leia. Alden back to Amaya Kuiper. Madison Peaches. She's going to hit this ball wide right. And the Irish within 1 point.
Timeout St. Francis. There's that run we were talking about. Right back in the game.
From 9 down, from 10 down, 13 to 3 at a point. Now to see the Irish outscore St. Francis 16 to 7 and pulled in 1 point.
That, like I said before, although St. Francis was up, they never seemed to really have the momentum. It seemed like just more errors on SHC's part, so they've cleaned up some of those errors and been able to close the gap.
Well, as the band tries to get us going here through the middle of a timeout, Coach Beema giving good instruction in the huddle.
Is there a cooler coach that you see? She just seems so calm and collected all the time, and someone that I really admire and look up to, and I'm glad to be working with her to be able to bounce ideas off of, and she's been instrumental into me building a successful program as well. So I just love her demeanor on the sideline and sitting down, and she's awesome. She is awesome. Coach Beema is awesome.
Now, I'd like to see if she were a basketball coach, if she'd be the same way. Because the volleyball leads to the quiet, mild-mannered, but I mean, we all know the Brian Harrigan foot stomp.
Absolutely.
That still has dents in the floor.
There's still dents on the floor here. Absolutely. So, Coach Beema is very competitive as well, but she does a great job of keeping her composure, and you can tell with her team there's never any angst or nervousness, and I think her demeanor helps her team stay resilient and win a lot of games. They feed off her energy.
You say that. You're right. You never see a panic out of a Coach Beema team. Never, ever. You never see a quit or a panic out of them. Sarah Chang with the big left hand to tie it up. Skylar Kennedy had a service ace to tie it at 20. And a St. Francis kill gave them the lead 21-20. And Sarah Chang back and tied. We're going to go Ashley Chan back to the service line now. It's a race to 4, and you must win by 2. Through the block, Chan, Stanley gets to it. Kuiper is going to hit off the tape. Nora Thompson met at the net. Ashley Chan the dig. Alden Stanley the quick set again to Nora Thompson. Tula's going to hit through Sarah Chang, and that ball is going to fall. St. Francis back on top, 22-21.
This St. Francis team is very tough as well.
They are. They're very tall.
Yes. Absolutely.
For as tall as Skylar is, from up here, it looks like St. Francis has 3 or 4 like that. Ashley Chan couldn't handle the serve. It's going to be a 2-point lead for the Lancers. Maggie Curtis to serve.
Ooh.
Oh, and Nora Thompson just goosing a ball over the net.
Great play. Nice touch, Nora.
It's amazing that as athletic as it can be, without a little bit of communication there, you had 3 or 4 girls all standing around watching the ball fall to the floor.
Absolutely.
So in a case like that, if it hits the ground, it's everybody's fault.
Yes.
You can't pick on one person.
Not at all.
That's each and every one of you. Alyssa Lee for the tie. We're going to get a bad pass by Kira Kellerman. This game is tied again. And I thought Coach Michael Rubin tried to call timeout, but apparently not. And another bad pass. Unable to handle the service ace from Alyssa Lee.
You got to love this team. You got to love this team.
They're all up on their feet. They're 1 point for the match to serve for the win. They're going to feed Kellerman on the left side, and she's going to go lightly over the Stanley and Thompson block to tie this game up at 24. Maybe because it happens so quick, that's the difference in comparison to basketball. Because you still got to get up and down the court in basketball. Here it could be one tip and
absolutely. Your anticipation has to be off the charts. And I think that's the tough thing about volleyball because the ball is moving so fast. And some of these hits that the girls have, so much power up behind these hits, it's definitely tough to control at times.
It is amazing, and we have one of the hardest hitters that I've seen. Maureen Catholic came in here earlier in the year with a girl that just hit it as hard as I've ever seen.
Yes.
But Skylar's not far behind. And now Maya Kuiper for the match win. Kira Kellerman off the block through Canada's hands. And we're tied at 25 again. So Saturday night, the Irish are going to open round 1 in the CCS Open Division at 7 o'clock. We don't know their opponent yet. We'll find that out tomorrow night after the seeding meeting. But there could be, out of the 8-team Open Division, we could be looking at 4 to 5, maybe 3 to 4 WCAL teams in the Open Division.
Speaks to the depth of our league, the WCAL. We can't get away from each other. That's how good the programs are.
You're right. I remember, was it last year that Canada and a tie, you're up at 26. Another one for Skylar. Was it last year that you saw St. Francis maybe 3 times in a week or so, or was that 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
And they were all here, thankfully.
Yes.
You didn't have to go down there.
No, not at all.
Yes, we got to know the St. Francis team very, very well.
That's the tough part about our league, and then CCS. Ooh, tough point.
Blocked at the net. The Lancers are going to carry a 1-point lead and serve for the set. Into the game comes Gabby Silva to serve again. Stanley, Kuiper, Kennedy, Chan, Seljasath, and Lee for the Irish. Jump serve. Skylar Kennedy. She can find the open court. Wow. Better than most. That is for sure.
It's just been amazing to watch her maturity over the past few years. And she definitely has gotten stronger over the past year. Although she hit the ball hard last year, she's hitting it definitely a lot harder this year.
Madison Peach with the ball off the block. That's going to give St. Francis the lead once again. Sydney Peterson back to serve. And flat service ace out of Peterson off the hands of Kuiper. And that's going to send us into the 4th set. So, Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining me for the set. You're more than welcome to stay if you wish, or you can go down and join the rest.
Thank you for having me. I'll stay for one more set.
Absolutely.
I'll stay for one more set. Hopefully I'm not bad luck with getting on there and the Irish losing the set.
No, I think I think that's going to go to just where they roared back in that game.
Yes.
To take that to 29-27 final from being down 13-3 you gotta admire the way that they can just continue to fight.
Absolutely. There's no quit with this squad, and that's what I love about watching them. It's almost like the Warriors. Maybe not this year, but the last few years, they were never out of the game. So I feel the same way about this SHC group. It definitely is a special group.
Yeah, I can't agree more there. It's really all of the girls' programs here on campus. You've seen what volleyball has done over the last, I think Coach Beaver's been here for 20 years or so, or more than that. The success that you've had with the women's program, and really, you got to watch it as a player when Coach Brian Harrigan ran the women.
Yes.
But even I was out to in my first ever tennis match yesterday to watch the girls play in their senior day, and the level of athlete is coming up all over. We have an extremely successful soccer program, both boys and girls, but it's the way that the women carry themselves and have the ability to compete in all types of different athletics. That to me is a good sign to watch.
It definitely is. I think a lot of the times our coaches that coach women's sports, we have the girls look at themselves as athletes. You're not a girl that plays a certain sport, you're an athlete. So instead of saying you're a women's basketball player or a women's volleyball player, no, you're a basketball player, you're a volleyball player, and the girls really buy into that. And we have some coaches that instill great values in our kids because they do a lot of work with them off of the court or the field. So it's a testament to our coaches, but just the kids that we get in this school have been really, really a blessing to be able to coach them all.
Well, they sure do represent everything that we ask a Sacred Heart Cathedral student athlete to be. I spoke earlier about Maya Medina winning the Kelly Gallagher Perpetual Trophy Award, and you knew Kelly growing up.
Yes.
And the spirit that she brought, just that she carried with her on a daily basis around campus, not just on the court. I think she even played softball while she was in school, but you could see it. It just poured out of her, and every night every year when they do the award here, it becomes a bit emotional for me because I can see a lot of whoever's picked, and it's a team picked award. The coaches have nothing to do with it. The administration has nothing to do with it. Their teammates have everything to do. And for kids for kids today that didn't have the chance to meet the wonderful soul that Kelly Gallagher was, they seem to get it right every year.
Yes.
In who they pick. And this year's Maya Medina was, it's a surprise to everybody until the tape is pulled off of the award. It's a surprise to everyone, and it couldn't have gone to a more deserving.
Absolutely. She comes from a great family as well. Her mom does a lot of social justice work and everything, and Maya she's amazing. A joy to coach. She also plays basketball. One of the hardest working, selfless athletes I've ever been around, and she soaks everything up like a sponge, and she's a great person that brings everybody together, and just a very diligent, hard worker, and you can't ask for much more out of any athlete that you coach. The prototype that you would like as an athlete on your team, she's it.
And it goes to show that it doesn't need to be the star player to garner these types of awards. Maya is a spot player on this team, has been for a couple of years, and to watch her, I really appreciate it because having a daughter on the freshman team, my daughter can look up to Maya, somebody that's going to teach her, the work ethic, the attention to detail. Put in your time. You help out where you help out. You contribute when you get the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And you see Maya; she's out early with the freshman and JV teams, and she's running the lines. She's keeping score for them. She's helping them during their pregame warm-ups, and it's not something that's asked of her to do. I really think she enjoys doing it. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day we find her back on a bench coaching somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That'd be, if she does come back, that'd be a huge asset for us as a school. Just everything that you said, the kind of person she is, she's a great role model, and she carries herself like a young adult, and just been very impressed with her over the past 4 years as well. And for me, I love that I get to be here working at Sacred Heart Cathedral as a counselor, so I get to know a lot of these kids on a personal level, and some of their stories are just truly amazing, man. Maya's story is one of those stories that are truly amazing.
Well, there is a reason. People ask me all the time why to come back. And this is actually my second stint back working here. But the values that I learned from the Christian Brothers and from the Daughters of Charity, and growing up here my entire life, growing up in the baseball dugout, watching basketball games in the old Kezar.
Yes.
When Sister Francis used to let me change the score. She must have liked me from a young age. Yes. Let me touch a scoreboard.
Absolutely.
She never let me touch a clock, but the score I could always go +2 on the old rotating dial at Kezar. Being in the old Kezar Stadium,
yes,
and walking down the tunnel before it was knocked down into the beautiful facility it is now, though. But there's so much history and tradition, and the great people that I met that at the time were just students. They were like these girls here. They were 16, 17 years old, and the mentors that they became, that I realized that they actually were to me late in my as I got older and got into coaching. I can remember those people that really kind of helped raise me. Absolutely. And my love for the school, and that's why I come back, because I try to do the same thing.
The thing that's also great about this school is that people that you have no idea who they are, but they've seen you play, they've been around, they heard about you, and they do not hesitate to come up and tell you how good of a job you've been doing, and to embrace you and really treat you like family. Especially for myself, I transferred in as a junior and graduated from here. It was a bit of a difficult transition going from public school to Catholic school, just because I didn't know what to expect, but everybody welcomed me in with open arms, and it's been great to be a part of the Irish family for all these years.
It is certainly a special place. I keep looking around. We had the retirement of Bill Krieger last year. History teacher, counselor, taught a little religion, I believe, back in his day. Longtime soccer coach. After 41 years,
don't forget, counselor for all the athletes as well at one point.
Yes. And I've known Bill Krieger personally for my whole life. And you still see him back on campus, still helping out from time to time. And in all the years that he put in, he's helping to bring along the new teachers.
Absolutely.
Which is a testament to his passion of continuing to teach and continuing to help guide and grow. And very, very lucky to have guys like him here. Tim Burke is still here, an alum.
That is my guy right there.
He's got to be coming up on 40 years soon. My father, Coach Fran, he's been here 42 years, still very involved in the PE department and still coaching baseball. And Jim Conley's been around for close to 30 years, I'd say.
And how about getting him back out on the football field? He's been doing a great job helping out with the freshman team.
That's for sure. Now he is the first football coach that I can remember.
That's
in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Now he looks a little different. He's a little grayer.
A little bit less hair.
A little bit less, but not too much. He's a little bit grayer, but that was my introduction to football, was going out to the polo fields during the summer when they were double days, and you'd be freezing cold standing in the wet grass, and I was 7 years old shagging footballs.
Yeah. And talk about a great story. Jim Conley is a great family man, and just sometimes I don't know how people end up here, because it's like definitely God brought everybody together, and just so blessed to have these type of people in my life. And have their support over the years. And even though we weren't here at the same time, like, we still knew each other. Yeah, you know, which is a great thing, and that just shows you how connected the school is. It doesn't matter when you graduated or how long you went here. We do stay connected as a community.
So as we move on here in the fourth set, the Irish are leading now 11-6. They've come out with a little bit more. We said that they don't take too much time off, but I think there's a little sense of urgency now that okay, we let the last one get away from us. That's not going to happen again. Now we're going to go out and impose our will on what we want to happen.
It seems like St. Francis is losing a little bit of steam. I think this is where home court advantage is definitely important. To be able to feed off the crowd and to dig a little bit deeper to win some games.
Kellerman thought she hit the ball off a tip. Both the up and down officials, as long as both corner linesmen, they're not seeing anything. There is a timeout taken on the court by the Lancers. I think the ball, from up here, it looked like the ball hit off the top of the net. And in our delayed feed in front of us, it actually looks like the ball did hit off the top of the net and not a hand. So thank you to YouTube for being a 30-second delay.
Yes.
So sorry, I don't have that production knowledge to bring that back to you right away. For those of you that have elected to watch Sacred Heart Cathedral Volleyball over the World Series, I'll tell you now, if you don't want to hear the score, plug your ears, that the Washington Nationals are up 4-2 at the top of the ninth with a runner on first and nobody out, looking to increase their lead. I was talking earlier about, as a baseball coach and a lifelong baseball guy, I really didn't care who won the series. I just wanted 7 games.
Yes.
Because if the way it was going, if baseball would have ended 4 or 5 days ago, I'd had 4 or 5 days of nothing.
Absolutely. How about the road team winning every game in this series thus far?
It's they've already set the record.
Yes. That is incredible. Especially with the Nationals losing Bryce Harper. For them to bounce back and come back the way that they are to make it to the World Series. And with a chance to win it right now shows the resolve of that group.
Sure. It's interesting that as good as Bryce Harper is, and from all accounts that we see in here, as your star athlete, got along with everybody.
Yes.
So maybe it has to do with something of your star leaves, and everybody realizes, you know what, we may need to do a little bit more.
Yes.
And we all need to pitch in just a little bit more, and all of a sudden we're better. And they started the year off terribly. We're going to call for a replay. There was a collision on the court as Alyssa Lee had run into one of the players. And it almost looked like she took a punch to the gut or an elbow to the gut, it looks like, from Ashley Chan. So as the trainer tends to her in midcourt, we are going to step away for a second. So we'll be back when things get cleared up here on SHC TV. Stay Okay, welcome back. Alyssa Lee was able to walk off under her own power. It looks like her and Ashley Chan collided, and she might have gotten the wind knocked out of her.
That is definitely not a great feeling to have the wind knocked out of you.
No, not at all. And she just buckled to the ground, buckled enough where the referee stopped play instantly, didn't let the play finish. So we're going to have a redo or a do-over. The Irish lead here 14-6. We're hoping we're getting out of here with no injuries. And Alyssa is up and talking to assistant trainer Jessica Markbrighter. So we'll give good thoughts to there. So with the point that came off the board at the do-over, it's now 13-7. Irish lead and Allison Coe to serve for the Lancers. Nora Thompson on a quick set from Alden Stanley. We've probably seen that a couple of hundred times in the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. So effective, and just one of those things you're never really prepared for, even though she's probably on the scouting report to watch for that.
Just the way that, I don't know how you would defend it. You've got 6 girls on the court to defense. So the quick set right in the middle, to the middle of the court, and if you play that, then Skylar Canaday hits it off somebody's head like she just did from the outside. So free ball, bump set to Canaday, who's going to go right through the hands of Allison Coe. It's a 15-7 lead for the Irish. In basketball, I would say if you know that you've got a shooter, you can do things to try to keep the ball out of his hands or to mess up his rhythm. If you've got a big, you can try and do things to defense against that. Seems like here you've got 2 or 3 options in every play, and you've got to move within 8 or 10 feet left or right on a moment's notice. I don't know where I would start with that.
Well, it's difficult when you have a D1 athlete on your team to stop them, no matter what sport it is, whether it's baseball, football, and she's going to UCLA for a reason. So I don't know how much you can do to prepare to stop her.
Long tip over by Canaday. Ashley Chan now dug out. Set up by Stanley. Ashley Chan has just been wonderful tonight. And the way that she has played defense, that's why she's back there.
Absolutely.
But she has dug out rocket after rocket after rocket.
She is a tough cookie. I tell you that. She is mentally tough and physically tough. Her stature does not mean a thing.
I know everybody really held their breath when she rolled her ankle earlier in the year. We thought the worst. And then to see her limping around, and then Megan Len getting hurt, and then Alyssa Taylor tearing her ACL. We've talked long about it, but not too many teams that can lose 2 stars.
Yes.
For any extended period of time.
Absolutely.
And Alyssa Taylor was supposed to be a big part of this rotation as well.
Absolutely. She's another one that's great on defense and getting digs, and hopefully she has a speedy recovery and comes back even better than ever.
A huge swing by Lauren Scheffler, blocked by the Irish. You always know when Skylar's in the middle of a play because she's got the smallest little smile.
Yes.
She's
not
rubbing it in.
I got you.
But she's really having fun.
Absolutely.
Even in those playoff games last year at the end of the season, and you knew everybody was exhausted. And they're feeding sets to her, and she might have taken 50 swings that night. And she's on a knee trying to catch her breath. She always had a little smile on her face that, hey, you know what? It's fun. It's still a game,
Absolutely.
And we're going to compete. But man, are we having a good time doing it? Canaday again, right on cue. I guess if you talk about her, odds are she's going to come up with the play.
Yes, absolutely.
That ball there through the block of Scheffler and Leia. Scheffler now from the outside. That's going to be hit long. The Irish are going to go up 19-11 here in the fourth set. Looking to close out. Looking to finish WCAL play strong. Looking to be playing their best ball, which they pretty much are in the last week or so that we've watched, heading into the playoffs. You want to be hot at the right time, and the best team being hottest at the right time, not too many people I think are going to want to match up against them.
Absolutely. Definitely a tough matchup, and the great thing about them, they are a seasoned team as well. Meaning they have a lot of veterans on the team that have experience, and they always know that they got a great chance to win. And I think they built up a reputation that they are a tough opponent. So that puts a different mindset on opponents coming in to play them. Because they can win on the road, they can win at home. So those are the teams that you definitely do not want to face.
Knowing that you're getting everybody's best effort every night. And like you said, being able to do it at home, but more importantly on the road. You're going to have to win on the road in the postseason. In the Open Division playoffs, we're guaranteed one home game, and then the next two rounds are neutral sites. So you're going to have to go on the road, and you don't have to go on the road to a close location. You're heading to Palo Alto and Gunn High School if you're going to get through the Open Division.
Yes. How about the run a few years ago when they had to go all the way down to Fresno? When a lot of these seniors were sophomores, and I feel like that's where it started with this group building up to become the special group that they are, and to win in a hostile environment. I forget the name. I want to say it was Central High School down in Fresno, if I'm not mistaken. They had the big bear where the team runs out, small gym, rowdy crowd, and came out with a W. And I remember talking to Coach Beamer the next day and just how elated she was, talking about the team's effort and everything and how they stayed together, and just to pull out a win. Those things you remember forever as a player. Definitely remember. So I feel like they've been building resolve over the past few years just to get to the point that they're at now. And if you look at them, they're still smiling. They look cool as a breeze out there. It's definitely fun to watch this group.
But you know, they will outwork you, they'll out-hustle you. They came into the season as a block by Amaya Piper, her first block of the night, and she just sticks it right back at Lauren Scheffler. The 21-13 8-point lead with Ashley Chan serving. The Irish came into the year ranked 6th in the state, number 1 in Northern California. They opened their season versus number 10 in the state, number 2 in California, Marin Catholic. And for opening night, unfortunately lost the match, but a loss at that point in the year to a team that good, and it was a good match, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But I think it can wake you up a little bit and say, hey, we can't rest on what we did last year. We got to keep pushing.
Absolutely. And those losses, as you mentioned, are very good at the beginning of the year. It does give you some focus, and if you happen to play them again, you know what to expect, and you are even more prepared for your opponent.
Well, if things play out right, you're going to see them in the NorCals. Marin Catholic, who's part of the NCS, the North Coast section, they'll have their own NCS playoffs over the next couple of weeks, the same way as we have our CCS playoffs. And then we'll get seeded out in the Open Division of the NorCals, and you're going to have to go through Marin Catholic at some point.
Absolutely. Hopefully we get home court advantage for that game again, too.
Well, the Irish continue to fight here. Sarah Cheng, she finds an opening in the defense and buries that, and that's going to get us to match point.
She has a sweet swing from that left side with the left hand.
Into the game.
That's the thing of beauty to see.
It is. The left-hander, there's not a whole lot of them that are out there.
Absolutely.
The Melanie Kwan in to serve for the match. Her first action of the night, asking to come in and close a door. Ashley Chan at the bump set to Amaya Kuiper. That ball's blocked. Alden kicks it back to Skylar in the back row. Dug out by St. Francis. A tip by the Lancers. Alden's going to quick set to Nora. Nora's going to get blocked and played off the net. And we're going to call a double hit on the set from the down official. No, he's saying that that Nora went under the net and over the line. All right, so we'll wait another point. Amaya Kuiper. St. Francis trying to hold off as long as possible, and they're going to get one by Skylar candidate here. Taylor Tulo, who's had a good night for the Lancers. The Lancers graduating 5 seniors as well. Not the 9 that the Irish are graduating. Kuiper from the left side, blocked, played up. Nora Thompson with the bump set, back to Kuiper. This is going to be played by the Lancers. Ashley Chan off the fist of Tulo. Candidate from the back row, trying to maybe do a little bit too much there and force the ball. And she's going to go long and left. So 24-17, probably like in any sport. In baseball, it's the last out. In volleyball, it's the last point. And Nora Thompson is going to hit this ball through the block of Lauren Scheffler. The Irish are going to finish the WCAL year at 9-1. Back-to-back WCAL champions. A remarkable year so far, with good things to come, hopefully. And we'll report their Monday or their Saturday night opponent when we get them tomorrow night. So, like I said, tune into Seamus on Twitter. Tune into SHC TV Sports on Instagram. Tune into YouTube SHC TV Sports, and we'll let you know what's going on as soon as we find it. So SHCathletics.com, always a place to go as well. I'd like to thank head women's basketball coach Lorraine Russell for joining us in the second half of this game.
No problem. Thank you for having me, and hopefully I can come back again. This is definitely fun. I definitely enjoy it.
Well, I'm hoping maybe we can get you for a couple of boys basketball games, and you can help. Help this poor ball player out.
That's it.
Help me out.
I will be there. I will be there.
All right. Well, I appreciate everything, Lorraine. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll join you next time. You've been watching SHC TV live on YouTube.